Welcome to Unfiltered Hummingbird. I am your host, Camellia. Hey, we're going to unpack some questions, interview some guests, have a little fun together. Come on, let's get to it. All right, so when's the last time anyone read a book? Have you read a book this year? I hope you have. If you haven't, I want you to pick up a book of your choice, something that you want to learn or something that you want to just get away from, take a vacation. My grandma would always say that the cheapest way to go on vacation is to read a book. And that is so true because when you're reading a book, guess what? You escape into that book that you're reading. You're no longer thinking about your life, but you are thinking about that book you're getting ready to read. So, on the heels of that, I just finished reading a book called Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table. It's time to win the battle of your mind. It is by Louie Giglio. I hope I pronounced his name right. But don't give the enemy a seat at your table. It's time to win the battle of your mind. Now, the first thing that attracted me to this book is that it's bright yellow and it's black. So it's yellow and black, the Steelers colors. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though they're not having a winning season right now, I'm still a Steelers fan. So, book had instant attraction because of the colors. But when I read it, I started reading the back of it first, or the inside of it. Nowadays, no, a lot of these books don't have the information on the back side. But I just kind of browsed through it a little bit. I was thinking, oh, this could be a good book because we all deal with negative thoughts. We all do. And the only difference is how we all handle negative thoughts because you can manage them. It is a daily chore. It is not an easy task, but when you're intentional about what you think about and what you entertain, let me tell you, you come out so much better in your thought life. So let me tell you some points about this book because it's a really good book. Now, I took my time to read this book and I would stop because some of the nuggets and stories that he told were so pivotal, inspiring, and just caused me to just put the book down and reevaluate my life. Let me think about what I just read. How does that apply to me? And I'm going to tell you, most of it did apply to me. And I'm sure if you got this book, a lot of it would apply to you. It would apply to all of us if we're honest, okay? So the whole moral, the whole crux of the book, the whole big idea of the book is that Louis received a text message from one of his friends, and it said, "Don't give the enemy a seat at your table." So it became a text message that changed his life. Now, let me tell you, this book has definitely challenged my thinking, which in turn has changed my life or is changing my life because it is a process. So I start today's episode by asking a question. Who are you listening to? What negative thoughts have you had, still having? What negative thoughts are you having a dialogue with? I mean, you're just having a conversation. You're just entertaining those negative thoughts. What are those? You might be even arguing with those negative thoughts. And when you're arguing, when I'm talking about thoughts, this is stuff that's going on in your head, right? You're just having a conversation in your head. None of this stuff probably hasn't happened, but in your mind, these are thoughts that are going on. Right? So all of us deal with this. All of us, if we're not dealing with it, we're just living with it. So What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? It makes a really big difference, and it makes us more mindful about what we read, what we watch on TV, what we listen to, what we see, what we hear. You're more intentional about it, because if we're not careful, if we just let these thoughts go unchecked, they will turn out to be actions of our own. So here's a couple of points that I got. Point one, we all have a choice. We all have a choice. We have a choice to choose to entertain that thought that just popped up in our head because of either what we're watching, what we read, or what we heard, or any thing that happened in our history or in our past could trigger it. It could be a thought that just pops up. I want to challenge you. You still have a choice. You still have a choice. Point two. Now, the longer you play, or I would say entertain negative thoughts, you will end up saying or doing exactly what you said you would not do. Does that make sense? Let me unpack it. I would never go into a store and steal something. I just wouldn't. And then I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't go to a store and steal something. And then you go to a grocery store, I'm just going to taste a little grape just to see how the grapes taste. Like it or not, that's still stealing. You didn't pay for it, right? I mean, and you're not supposed to go into a grocery store and just sample unless it is a sampling station. Simple, but that it is what it is, right? I would never cheat on my spouse. And then all of a sudden, you start watching movies about love affairs, and someone at the office or in your circle of friends or associates starts giving you way too many compliments, and you don't think it's anything. You think it's harmless, and then all of a sudden, you start paying attention to those compliments. Hold on, hit the brakes, danger warning sign. So you entertain it. You let it go so long that you don't think it's a big deal. Oh, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. What we think about, what we allow ourselves to think about, and what we ultimately do is a big deal. And all of our choices have consequences. Now, who pays for those consequences? You be the judge, because you're the one making the choice. So, as I say all the time, be wise. Be wise. Point number three. There is, and I love this one. There's always a way out. Always. There's always a way out. I mean, it could be some pretty crazy things that go on in our lives, but there is always a way out. I firmly believe there's always a way out. And that way out is going to come in the light of another choice. Yes, another choice. We're back to the word choice. Yes, you're going to have to make a choice. So there's always a way out. And the way out is to evict, kick out, sweep out, throw out, whichever way you want to say it. But evict, get away from those negative thoughts and those negative words. And you need to fill yourself, fill your mouth, fill your mind, fill your thoughts with the truth of who you are. And the most important thing, whose you are. You have to start, in order to evict something negative, you got to replace it with something positive. So instead of saying, oh, I just cannot remember anything, how about saying, oh, I remember all things. I am smart. I could do this. I remember that. How about instead of saying, oh, I'm always late. I'm so lazy. I just can't get it together. Why not start saying, oh, I'm on top of this. I'm in control of my time management. I remember these things. I'm not going to procrastinate. I am going to be active. I'm going to get up and make an action now. I'm not going to just stop and say I'll do it tomorrow, because we don't know what tomorrow is. Do you? No, you don't. So be active. You see what I did? I replaced negative with positive. That's an all day thing. Yes, it is. It's not something that happens overnight. This is something that we have to intentionally do moment by moment. And you have to be alert, not passive, thinking, oh, that's just a fleeting thought. And mind you, yes, we do have those. They just happen. You could be minding your own business and all of a sudden some crazy thought comes in your head and says, oh, you're overweight. Oh, you don't look good. Oh, what is that on your face? Oh, your kids are going to fail. What? Stop. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. No. So you stop that. You say, no, that's not true. I look good. My kids are fine. My kids are wise. They're smart. Their family is blessed. My family is blessed. You see what I did? I replaced the negative with the positive. Yes, it's an all-day thing, people. Yes, I didn't say it was easy. It's an all-day thing. It's like, and in the book, Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table, Louie makes this reference. He paints this picture. He say, it's like going fishing. When you go fishing, you don't go out to a lake and take a bullhorn or a magna horn and scream out through the magna horn and tell the fish, "Hey, I'm getting ready to put a fancy lure on my fishing line. You're gonna grip it, and I'm gonna pull you out, and after I pull you out, I'm gonna take you home and eat you." No, you don't do that. When you go fishing, you're quiet. You're crafty. You strategize. When's the best time? What's the best temperature to go? And you quietly get in your boat and go fish and catch the fish. You don't announce to them that you're getting ready to catch them and eat them. No, you're quiet about it. So the same way with our thoughts. These negative thoughts, they just pop in. And some are popped in based off of our atmosphere. And like I said, the things we watch, the things we read. But guess what? When they do happen, be ready. Be ready to evict them out of your thought life. Now, like I said, it won't be easy, but still do it. There's a lot of things in life that is not easy, but still do them. That's my call to action. Still do them. Even though it's not easy, still do it. There's so many rewards for being attentive to what's going on in our thought life. So one last thing I wanted to say is thoughts unchecked will grow into action. If you don't do anything about those negative thoughts, you entertain them, and like I said, you have a dialogue with them, guess what? There's going to be some type of manifestation from those thoughts. Think about your life now. Think about some of those bad choices or some of those choices you wish you would have made another choice. I don't think anything kind of sneaks up on us. I think we have plenty of warning. I think there's subtle warnings. So just be mindful, be intentional about what you're thinking about, and replace the negative thoughts with the positive thoughts. This is my output of my review of Don't Give the Enemy a Seat at Your Table by Louie Giglio. Go check it out. Read a book this year. All right, that's all we have for today. Join me next time on Unfiltered Hummingbird. I am your host, Camellia. Until then, have a blessed day.